Jeff Benjamin back with you. Railers with the lead as we start the second quarter up 16-9. And guys, Nathaniel Smith right now looks like he's really ready for Thanksgiving because he's playing a real good game so far tonight.
Yeah, and a little bit different of a lineup as we didn't see much of Smitty play in the wing, but Smitty has moved to the wing now with Van Hook coming in and playing back along with Coyne, Nelson, and Jake Olson.
So Raiders get much bigger inside.
Yeah. There he goes. Jordan Nelson intercepts it 1-on-2, has it knocked away, and he'll just pull it back out. Coyne. Thought about stepping into a three. Nice patience by Jordan Nelson when he could have forced a layup but decided to save the possession. And Jordan's getting held all the way by Kenny.
Yep, Jordan needs to find a way to pop it.
Alley-oop to Christian, and he missed it.
Yeah, got too far behind the backboard. Looked like he hit his head on the backboard.
Yep, hope he's all right.
Problem I never had.
Yeah. I got to tell you, Jordan's got to find a way to shake Kenny loose, and if that takes an elbow in the chops, that's what it takes.
Almost a minute into the quarter, no score yet. Railers on top 16-9. And we've got a timeout that's going to be taken by Coach Tim Lavin. It will be just waiting for the decision. They're taking time. We will as well. Railers up 16-9, 7:08 to go in the first half. Back in a moment with more Lincoln. Railers on this Thanksgiving Eve, along with Josh Komnick and Tom Larey. Jeff Benson with you. And guys, you wonder, what was the meaning of, did Coach Lavin just think that they were so unorganized he just needed to settle them down?
Seemed like it, because their first possession they turned it, and then there they just looked real sloppy. Plus the Raiders show him a little different look by bringing Van Hook in and putting him down low. So maybe he's trying to figure out a way to exploit that as well.
Yeah, the last couple of possessions for Centennial have been turnovers. You get a steal from Nelson, and Smitty picks one off, and you're exactly right, Tom. You bring in Van Hook, and now you're 6'4", 6'5", 6'5", on the back with an athletic other wing with Nelson.
Yeah, so that may be what do you want to do. Certainly didn't like it, whatever he saw. And he made sure his team knew that.
After the timeout, Centennial almost throws it away again inside, this time to Butler, who lays it over the front of the rim.
By and large, Railers done a nice job on Butler. He's been pretty quiet. The kid can really get up.
Olson, Coyne, Smith, Nelson, and Van Hook on the floor for the Railers.
Yeah, about time. Kenny has been doing that to Nelson the whole game, holding him and holding him and holding him. And, you know, you get him in foul trouble or a little hesitant on some fouls, and now he's got to back off of Jordan just a little bit.
Well, the thing is, with the foul, now that's the official telling you I'm watching.
Right.
Coyne gets it back to Nathaniel, out to Jake. Olson getting some extended minutes here tonight. Nelson's going to drive in, kicks it over to Smith. Smith, pull-up jumper, fade away, left it short, rebound comes down to Butler.
Another good shot there, but you like seeing Smith aggressive.
Quickly down, Kenny.
Gets
it away by Van Hook. Nice defense by Christian.
Sure we was.
Coming back the other way, Olson in the corner. Brant Coyne thought about the three. Now he pulls it back out to Olson. Swinging around left side to Nelson.
Railers need to be patient. Run the offense, get a good look.
Brant, three on the way, up and good.
That should bring Piper out.
And that was a good call. I don't know if Coach called that or that was a Jordan Nelson Brant Coyne thing, but a high pick and roll. And Piper helps on Nelson and pick and pop just to Coyne.
Yep.
19-11, 5:45 to go. Railers up by 8. Piper gets it around to the left side to Kenny.
Plus Coyne sends a message to Piper, you got to guard me.
Over on the right side now to LaShore. Down low to Piper, who muscles it up over Coyne, and good.
Too easy, got the ball, and we can't defend it once it's inside. You got to defend it before it gets there. Coyne did a nice job, though, not fouling him. He just put his hands straight up and held his ground.
5.5 to go, 19-13. Lincoln with the lead as we play on this Wednesday night. We'll run down the schedule for the rest of the tournament a little bit later. Brant, top of the keys. Second one on the way for three, no good. Rebound comes down to the Chargers. Alexander, and a kick is going to be called.
I don't know if that was a kick, Jeff. By rule, it's an intentional strike of the ball with the lower leg to the knee, and it was just kind of his leg sitting there, but he got called.
Yeah, but you officious types know that kind of stuff. Piper over to Kenny. Kenny back on top to Piper, being guarded by Jake. Hopefully you don't lose Jake under his armpit. Kenny back on top, thrown away. Olson comes up with a steal. Jake on the left side, over to Jordan. A long three on the way is good.
Nice. Centennial sloppy with the ball. Kenny is he's a pretty good player, but man, that's got to be the fourth or fifth time he's left his feet with nowhere to go with the basketball.
Jordan in double figures now with 10.
They're also throwing a lot of long diagonal passes, which the Railers should feast on.
Yeah, those usually end up in the turnover column.
Yeah, 7 turnovers so far for Centennial, 3 for the Railers.
420, let's try to get it to Piper again, and Piper's barking at the official saying he was pushing behind. They try to lob it to Nathaniel. Nice catch, goes up, William will float it over. Kenny is good.
When you fake a charge, you usually give up a layup.
Yeah, some of that transition you talked about in the pregame, Tom, you're wanting to see there's some good Nelson to Smitty running the floor.
Yep.
Railers with a double-digit lead as we're halfway through the second quarter. 24-13, Lincoln on top. Pass a nice quick hands by Nathaniel. Tipping it out of bounds. Austin Kirby checks in. He replaces Jake Olsen. Olsen some real good minutes tonight here in the first half.
Yeah, sure did. I got to say, Centennial 0 at 3-point line. They don't have any. It doesn't at least appear now they have any three-point shooters. But for the Railers, they're packing back in. They keep moving farther and farther in.
3:57 left in our first half.
Now you got Christian at the point.
Butler tried to kick it down, and unfortunately, LaShore went to under the basket to make that Alexander did. No one to pass to. So right now it's interesting. Timeout being taken by Centennial, and it's full, so we'll take it with them. 3:52 to go in the first half. Lincoln on top, 24-13. Back in a moment with Lincoln Railer basketball. Thank you for joining us on WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. Railers on top, 24-13, and to say that Centennial looks disorganized, I think would be a disservice to the word disorganized, because coming down after that turnover, there was a lot of players in Centennial white and blue pointing fingers and yelling at each other.
Well, and that's a little shocking to me, because we played the same defense for the last 30 years or whatever it is. So you practice, you had practice yesterday, you know what's you're coming into. Now some of these guys haven't seen the 1-2-2 like we play it, but they do have some guys that had played last year.
And Lavin was, as I watched the huddle, he was chomping on his kids. You can't be yelling at your teammates.
And it looks now like Centennial's really trying to turn up the pressure. Jordan top of the key for 3. That's good.
We've seen that. A section or years ago in Decatur, the Railers had a ball game in hand, and Centennial turned up the heat. The Railers eventually melted.
And now the Railers have more than doubled the score. Down low. Nice pass inside from Butler to Alexander, his first 2 of the night.
Yeah, you got to protect the basket. The steal, that basket started out on by coach, where we had a guy gamble for the ball. Right. One guy gets beaten, and the next guy gets beaten, and you got to cover up for everybody, and Jordan didn't get down to cover up the basket.
Okay. Nathaniel handing off to Nelson. Nelson with 16 points. Nathaniel next on the list tonight with 8, but he's done a lot of the other things. Rebound steal. Alley-oop from point to Van Hook. Did get it to go down again. Ball comes down to Kenny for Centennial. Over on the right side, and it's thrown away. And I think, Josh, that's a case where Kenny's your ball handler. Why do you take it out of his hands? He got it to someone who wasn't expecting the pass and wasn't really ready to handle it, even if he would have.
Well, that's the thing against the zone. You got to have 2 people guard you. That's where you're going to beat a zone. When you try and go against a 1-2-2 or something, the ball handler has to get 2 people to guard him. He didn't do that.
Railers are good so far, Jeff. Crisp on the offensive end.
All the way.
Nathaniel, nice. A strong drive, no good, but Van Hook is there for the putback, his first 2 of the night.
Well,
29-15, 2.5 to go. Trap, they get it to Kenny on the left side, and an over and back is called. Kenny left from the backcourt, landed in the front court. And Tom, you take that.
Yeah, Carvon Butler chopping on the official. I got to tell you, hey, it's the same rule in Indiana. They're going where your feet were, not where they're going. And he jumped from the backcourt and caught it.
Yeah, Centennial really distraught right now, not knowing exactly what to do. I don't know if they've had a shot in a couple of possessions.
No, they've only had 3 shots for the quarter.
Nelson controls against Kenny on the left wing to Austin Kirby. High post to Brandt. Brandt will bring it around right side, nice. Back door, tipped away as they tried to get it to Nathaniel underneath. Tipped away by LaShore.
Good time to try that maneuver. They're up 14.
Piper's 16-foot jumper straight on, no good. Austin Kirby comes flying in for the rebound. And then we're going to have a foul. No, they're going to say a held ball as LaShore reached in there and grabbed it. And Lavin's not happy with it. Coach Alexander doesn't look like he's entirely pleased. But the alternating possession will give it back to the Railers. And I wonder if Coach Lavin, with the way this game is going, you think he's thinking, well, maybe a tee will wake my guys up, because this is not as animated as I've seen Tim Lavin in all the years we've been watching.
Looks like he wanted one right there.
Right. We're also not, we haven't been ahead of them 14, maybe cumulatively, but certainly not in one game.
One official spending his time talking with Coach Lavin instead of watching the game.
He needs to stop. His to officiate the basketball game, not entertain Lavin with conversation.
Jordan with the pull, picks up his dribble rather. Now to Coyne in the right corner. Back out to Nathaniel. Austin Kirby. Hands off to Nathaniel. Thought about the three. Pulls it back down. Now back it over to Coyne.
What we're giving Centennial.
Austin a long three. That rolls off no good. Ball tipped. Saved in by Kenny.
That is not the shot.
Centennial.
Close to doing it again.
1:13 to go. Railers on top, 29-15. A very good first half from the red and green tonight.
Christian Van Hook is working his behind off out there on defense.
And Piper's going to get a trip to the foul line as he's fouled going down the lane.
You know, Christian looks like he's added a couple inches on his biceps. He's got some strength. But I'll tell you what, he's hustling out front. He is working hard on defense, and that pays off with Coach Alexander. That gets you minutes.
Well, you're right, and it provides such a weapon for Coach Out. I mean, 6'4" with a long reach and athleticism on the top of that point. Jordan Nelson and that other wing should just feast off of lob passes in the full court because that should be 2 or 3 easy layups per game.
You bet. We need them because we give them up. Oh, we've only given up 1 offensive rebound in this game.
The 6'8" Piper hits both. 29-17. Piper now with 6 as we approach the 1-minute mark. 60 seconds to go here in our first half.
Railers need to do a good job here and go in no less than 12. This Centennial will make a run, no doubt.
Down low to Christian. Kicks it back out to Austin. Austin thinks about the shot. Tried to kick it back out to Christian, who wasn't there. Steal by Butler. Butler quickly down, splits everybody, goes in for the jam.
Boy, I remember that from a sectional a couple of years ago.
His name was Levante Rice back then.
We didn't stop them. We tried to slap the ball away from behind. Both bad moves.
So instead of going up maybe more than 12, the Railers just up 10, 29-19. And we've got a foul underneath. I think they're going to get LaShore for holding Nathaniel.
No,
they're going to get that one on Kenny.
Nathaniel and LaShore have been holding and pushing each other now for about the last 2 minutes off the ball. Nathaniel's giving as good as he can, but it's getting rough out there.
Josh, something you talked about. Kenny's now picked up his second foul, and I think he's going to leave here before halftime.
Yeah, he has to. It's only 24 seconds left. They're going to be down regardless, so you can't take a chance on getting Kenny because he has held Jordan down somewhat as far as scoring and going from there.
So
Lavin is hot. He's hot at his team. He's hot at the ref.
Well, you've had it a number of times. If you're mad at your team, take it out on the official.
That's exactly right.
13 seconds to go. Nathaniel. The bench off to Nelson.
Best news for the official on our side is he's on our side, not in front of the bench anymore.
Down to 5. Got to look for the shot. Nathaniel's going to drive in. Forces it against Piper off the front of the rim. No good, and that's how our half will end. At the end of the first half, Lincoln with a 10-point advantage. It's Lincoln 29, Centennial 19. We'll be back with our halftime in a moment. You're listening to Lincoln Railer Basketball.